All right, new box just dropped. You know what that means. We are going to go over all the cards in the box pretty quickly this time because I have 12 deck lists to show you guys. So buckle up. This is going to be a long one. What's up, guys? It's your boy Kazaris back with a box review today. And as you see, it is Friday night. I'm recording this a bit later in the day, so I decided to grab a beer instead of coffee today. So if you want to drink coffee, depending what time it is that you're watching this, go ahead and drink coffee. But I am going to be drinking a beer. So today we have the new main box Eternal Stream in front of you. Very, very, very impactful box. A lot of archetypes. And namely, the main card is going to be Tenki. They made it super rare, which is, I would say it's surprising, but it's going to be such an impactful card that I'm also not surprised because it makes it easier to hit. So I have like 7 or 8 decks that are using Tenki, which is just absolutely nuts. Like every single Beast Warrior archetype in the game will use it, except Glad Beasts. They're not really a Beast Warrior archetype, but they have some Beast Warriors. But they prefer to use more generic back row. So in front of you, you have Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon. This is the cover card of the box. It's okay. The only way you're really going to be able to go into it consistently is with Eternal Galaxy, which while you have a Photon or Galaxy monster, can target another Xyz monster you control. The Xyz doesn't have to be a Photon or Galaxy. It can be whatever Xyz, but you have to control a Photon or Galaxy. So it makes it easier if the Xyz monster you have is a Photon or a Galaxy Xyz, but we don't have any of those at the moment. The only one we have is Galaxion, which is not a galaxy, it's a Galaxion, even though it works with the deck because it summons Photon Galaxy Eyes or Galaxy Eyes Photon Dragon from the deck. But we would have to have like a Photon monster alongside a rank 4, and then we could use this trap to summon the Neo Galaxy Eyes Photon. So like it's doable, but it's not like terribly consistent, and I don't think it's going to change the playstyle of the deck too much. It's still a one-trick pony, relying on Photon Stream, Burst of Destruction, or whatever the quick play spell is. Heroic Champion Excalibur, very, very cool card. I don't have any decks showcasing it today, but just any generic archetype that can use 2 level 4 warriors like heroes can make this for 4,000 attack monster, which is pretty cool. And it lasts until the end of your opponent's turn, so it's a little bit more, a little bit extra longevity there. Pretty cool. Fire, Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. This card is extremely good. When it is Xyz summoned, you can set a fire formation spell or trap directly from your deck, so you can like Tenki into a Beast Warrior to summon this, and then you can just set another Tenki to grab another Beast Warrior on the following turn. Or if you're playing a more dedicated Fire Fist deck, you can just set an actual different fire formation spell or trap. And then once per turn, you can attach a material to negate the effects of all face-up effect monsters currently on the field, except Beast Warriors, until the end of your opponent's turn. And then when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 3 fire formation spell traps you control to the graveyard, special summon 2 level 4 lower Beast Warrior monsters with the same attack from your deck. That last effect is going to come up more in Fire Fist, not so much in any other generic Beast Warrior deck that uses it. But the skill drain for all face-up monsters on the field is absolutely incredible. A very, very cool card. Another good Fire Fist we got is Elephant. If it's normal or special, send a face-up fire formation spell trap to the grave, special summon a Fire Fist monster from your hand, and it also allows you to search the new ritual monster that we got. This card is really cool. It allows you to negate monster effects. And the Fire Fist deck that I'm going to show you is trying to end on a board of the Ritual to negate a monster, and the, their Ultimate Fire Formation Shinto to negate a spell or trap. So very, very potent going first deck for sure. We also got some Dream Mirrors. These are just not good. These are just kind of the trash URs of the set. They might be better in the future if we get more support, but at the moment, they are just not very good. I'll have a deck to showcase you guys, but mainly, we finally got Grapha, Dragon Lord of Dark World. This card is incredible for the Dark Worlds themselves, but the Dark World deck in general is just too OTK oriented at the moment. It just definitely got a lot better with Grapha, and will definitely play a lot better. But I still think we need like better back row cards to allow you to transition to more of a control deck. That way you can just like set some back row, discard Grapha with your back row to like have that back row do something, and then Grapha, when it's discarded by a card effect, can destroy another card on the field. And then Grapha can summon itself back from the grave by bouncing a Dark World monster you control to the hand. So this is a 3,000 attack beat stick with your Gates of Dark World on the field. Or just like this in any other Dark World is typically game if you can like clear the board. So I'm thinking like if we get Paleozoic Dynamiscus in the future, which is a discard trap, but it doesn't discard for cost. It discards as the effect, so it will trigger all of the Dark Worlds, whereas stuff like Regeki Break and Karma Cut will not trigger the Dark Worlds. So Paleozoic Dynamiscus will banish a face-up card, and then you'll discard Graph and destroy another card on the field. And then, like, if that clears your opponent's board on the following turn, you can just Graph a Bounce Bait, or like summon Beige, Graph a Bounce Beige, and then just kill your opponent. Pretty cool. And then this is scary. UA Powered Jersey. It does so much for the UA cards. It's an equip card that allows them to just kill you. It gains 1,000 attack and defense, the equipped monster. If it battles an opponent's monster, any battle damage it inflicts is doubled. If it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can make a second attack. And then during the standby phase, you banish the equipped monster, but then you just add it back from your graveyard to your hand, and then you can just summon another UA and do it again. This card is absolutely nuts. And then Dark Ruler No More. This is a little weird. I mean, this will be better in the future, but as of right now, I can't like think of anything that needs to be negated. Like, this is like a side deck card maybe, but it's just a weird card to have in the game. It's cool though. It's cool. I'll take it. I don't think it should have been a UR though. And then we got number 64, Ronin Raccoon Sandayu. This card is really cool for level 2 beasts. That's a pretty iconic deck. It's not really like an archetype. It's just level 2 cute looking beast monsters that summon really cool Xyz. So we'll get into that. I have that as well. Full armored Black Ray Lancer, not very good. Then Tenki, of course, obviously searches any level 4 lower beast warrior monster. Heroic Challenger. The heroics are not very good at all. If we got Thousand Blades, we can maybe try like a scuffed version of Trick Clown. So for those who don't know, Thousand Blades, when you take damage, it can summon itself from the grave, and then Trick Clown, perform Mage Trick Clown. If it's sent to the grave, you can summon it and take 1,000 damage. So you would send Trick Clown to the grave, summon it, take 1,000, and then that 1,000 Blades would summon itself back, and then you'd have an easy rank 4 with no normal summon. But we don't have either of those cards, so it's not very good. Another Dream Mirror card. Charge into the Dark World. This card is interesting. You have to target a level 4 lower Fiend monster in the grave, special summon, and then discard a Fiend. So it doesn't discard for cost, and it discards at the end of its effect, so nothing you discard will miss timing. So if you have like Snow, Dark World Snow in the grave, and Beige in hand, you can discard Beige to summon Snow, and then Beige will trigger to summon itself, and then that's an easy rank 4 card. So this card's kind of okay. Onomatopoeia, not very good. UA Signing Deal. Now this, like, UA got 2 fantastic cards in this deck, in this box. This card is going to be abused in other decks besides UA. I'm not exactly sure what yet, but it's just, its effect is too generically good. So you special summon a UA from your deck, its effects are negated, cannot be used as sync or Xyz material, and then you lose life points equal to the level of the monster you special summoned by this effect. So if you summon UA Perfect Ace or UA Mighty Slugger, you take 1,500 life points, which triggers almost every skill in the game. If you summon a level 7 or 8 UA monster, you get to take 2,100 or 2,400 damage, which will trigger every other skill in the game that's like 2,000 or higher. So this card is really cool, and it's going to be seen, I think, to abuse other skills in the deck. It can be used with like Monster Morph de-evolution, which is probably cool. I haven't really come up with anything yet for that. And then Trap Hole. Cool, I guess. I feel like this is way too late. I don't know. It might see a tiny bit of play. And then the rares are just like extra things like we got Baby Raccoon, Ponpoko, and Tantan. We got some Melffys, some bad Melffys, but we got some Melffy Mommy, Melffy Pony, and Melffy Fenny, and Melffy Rabby. But Caddy and Puppy are the good ones, and Melffys of the Forest is the good Xyz, but we didn't get any of those, so it's alright. So let's just jump right into some deck lists. Grab your drink or coffee and sit back and relax. Alright, so first up, this is our Fire Fist deck. We have 3 Elephant, 3 Rooster, 1 Leopard, 1 Spirit, 1 Ram, 1 Buffalo, 1 of the Ritual Eland, 3 Tenki, 3 Tensu, 1 Dome, which is, it's a continuous spell, but this is what you're going to be using to Ritual Summon, because this has the effect that Ritual summons, which is a little weird. And then 2 Sinto, this is like the flex spot, 1 Sinto at least for the negation, and then kind of whatever you want from there. Whoops, let me put it back. So the main combo is, I mean, it's a little long-winded, so it's just like, it's a 3-card combo. You need like Elephant, Tenki, Tensu, or just like Tenki, Tensu, and then either like Elephant, Rooster, or Ram, I think. Like one of these 7 with these 2, just to end on a board of like Eland and double Sinto. But like there are like lesser combos to end on just Eland, or just like Sinto with Tiger King or something like that. And then when Tiger King dies, you get to summon 2 from the deck. So it's pretty cool. You got the Horse Prince. This build is using level dupe or level aug, either one, just so that when you search the Eland, you can activate level dupe to make whatever monster you're going to tribute for the ritual summon equal to level 6, so that you only have to tribute one monster. But that's the list. So like, just toy around with it yourself. But I believe this is looking very solid for now. And then moving on to a 4-axis version. They call this 4-axis because this plays level 4 monsters. You have 3 bear, 1 gorilla, 3 wolf bark. Wolf bark on summon will summon a fire beast warrior from the grave. So bear and gorilla are fire beast warriors. Every wolf bark normal summon will give you an Xyz play. So roach, wolf, cardinal, tiger king, sin, dweller, whatever other generic Xyz you choose to summon. And then you have like Gyoku to lock down back row, Tensu for extra normal summons, so that you can go like activate Tensu, double summon bear, bear, send, Tensu, pop a card, and then normal summon another card to make an Xyz, something like that. 3 Book of Moon, Tin Lance, and then 2 Horn of the Phantom Beast. This is kind of just like the meme card. You could play an extra lance and like a Tretch or something. But this will give a beast or beast warrior monster you control 800 attack, and then if it destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you get to draw a card. So this was played in like the old Fire Fist control decks, so I just wanted to pay homage to that, so I included that in here. But this is a much simpler version, much less combo oriented than the first one. This is much easier to play. So this is probably more new user friendly if you want to play Fire Fists but don't really know how to combo. This is a pretty cool deck as well. So moving on, 4 other Tenki decks to get into. We have first up Bujin. Now this is a 3 extra Yamato for a total of 6 Yamatos. Now we are playing balance because the way balance works is you cannot special summon during the main phase or activate monster effects, but Yamato will activate in the end phase, and as long as we're not playing ties, so we don't need to worry about special summoning. So we can go like Tenki, add Yamato, normal summon Yamato, set a trap. The traps are flexible. They don't really have to be this at all. But Yamato will activate in the end phase. You can add a crane, discard one of these graveyard effects. And then you have like Yamato at 1900 because of Tenki. You have a crane in hand. You have one of these protective monsters in the graveyard. And then you have a back row or 2, which is pretty cool. This, however, is the core of the deck, and then you just need to fill it out with 3 more spell cards and then 6 more trap cards to hit that balance ratio. Moving on, Fire Kings. So there you had Fire Fists, and now you have Fire Kings. So 3 Tenki means 6 Arvada, 9 technically if you're counting the Fire King Island. You had to make some room in this deck, so you have to cut down on it a little bit. But you are playing the Alistair package just because it is extremely good in the deck. You're playing the 1 Wolf Bark just because this is searchable with Tenki. You're essentially playing 4 Wolf Barks. So this will just be an Xyz play on command whenever you need it to search it. Pretty cool. You're playing Parallel Twister as well because Tenki is a continuous spell card that will stay face up in the spell trap zone, so that you can make use of that with Parallel Twister. Pop a card on the field by sending Tenki after you search. Pretty nice. And then you have the 3 Purgatrio as well. So like you can go Tenki, grab Arvada, Parallel Twister away, anything. Or you can like some other cool plays are Wolf Bark, summon Arvada, Fire King Island, pop Arvada, search Arvada, summon back Barong, and then you have a search off of Island while still maintaining your rank 4 play. And then you have Garunix loop as well. Still got to play at least 2 just to loop them. So Garunix, summon Garunix. Garunix, summon itself, pop the other Garunix, and then on the following turn, the Garunix you just popped will summon itself, pop the Garunix that was already on the field, etc. Just keep that loop going. Pretty cool. Moving on to Koa'ki Meiru. I'm extremely excited to try this. So you have Koa'ki Meiru Urnite, which is a Beast Warrior, as well as Crusader. You are playing the Crusader just so that you can go into Fire or Tiger King, because this requires 2 level 4 Beast Warriors, and Urnite cannot summon itself. So Urnite will reveal the Iron Core to summon the Crusader, and then you can make Tiger King and set another Tenki to grab another Urnite on the following turn to summon something like Ice or Sandman for another rank 4 play. Pretty neat. And then Tiger King just being a skill drain is really nice as well. So Tenki being able to search Urnite means that Diamond Core can almost always search your Maximus or Iron Core, whatever you're missing, so that you always reserve the Diamond Core for your big power play, and then you have Tenki to grab the Urnite as like a middle ground play to like fight the back row and force things from your opponent. And then like 3 Veil because this is playing Destiny Draw, so that you can grab the missing piece from Maximus. And then 3 Book of Moon and a Trunade just because you're playing Destiny Draw. Just because you can, pretty much. So your Maximus is limited 1, your Iron Core is limited 2, and then Trunade would also be limited 2. So you can play that pretty easily, and then Veils are your limited 3s. And then just the generic rank 4 extra deck. And then Lunalights got a much more consistent. So typically their best play was Emerald Bird, discard Martin to draw a card, you search with Martin, and then Martin will bounce Emerald Bird back to hand. It just maintains so much card advantage and gave you so many resources that it was like always great to see that. But now that play got even more consistent because you essentially have 6 Emerald Birds and 6 Yellow Martins now. So before we only had 3 and 3, but now that the chances of seeing that combo doubled essentially, which is really nice. You are still playing the 1 White Rabbit. You had to cut this down to make room for the Tenkis, but that's fine because you're essentially still playing more White Rabbits than you were before. Before you were playing 3, now you're playing 1, but you have 3 extra to search with Tenki, so you're playing 4 essentially. You just search it whenever you need it. And this is really cool for Xyz plays because you can Rabbit, summon back like Emerald Bird or Fox, use its effect to bounce it back or your opponent controls, and then Yellow Martin will bounce the White Rabbit to your hand for the following turn. And they all have 2 level 4s on the field. So this is still a great, this is like the Wolf Bark of the deck with some extra utility because Martin can bounce it to hand to allow you to reuse it every turn, and then this can also bounce the back row. You are still playing D-Jaw, so D-Jaw might get hit after this KC Cup, but in the meantime, I am still playing the 3 Veil, the 2 Temperance, because Veil is a level 4 body for Xyz plays, and it can D-Draw for whatever you're missing, so pretty neat. Honestly, you might not even need to play D-Draw. You can probably just like play Grit so that you don't die, and then Lunalight Fusion, just summon 1 big Saber Dancer and smack your opponent, because Grit, if you resolve it, if you use the actual skill on the following turn, you can only special summon once, but that doesn't matter if you're only summoning 1 fusion monster. So Grit could be a good alternative as well. And then finally, the last Tenki deck I have is Yosenju. So 3 Tenki means you can cut all of these down to 2. You might even be able to cut some of them down to 1 if you want, just play more back row. But I'm not terribly familiar with current Yosenju. I don't know exactly what the correct ratios are. And I was just throwing this together just to have an example to show you guys. So you could definitely toy with this a little bit, but the main idea is there. You have Veil to trigger D-Draw and get a level 4 body on the field for an Xyz play. Sword Sting just to bounce your opponent's monsters. Drowning is always a great card in this deck as well. So just a quick little overview of that. And now moving on to non-Tenki decks finally. We have Dark World. So this is the list I was toying with. This is Destiny Draw as well. There's a lot of Destiny Draw decks, Veil being abused as always. This is pretty cool because it can give you some rank 4 plays, trigger Destiny Draw. But the main goal is like, so you'll use your Gates of Dark World, banish like a Snow, discard your Beige, draw a card, Beige will summon itself, and then if you have Grapha in the grave from the turn previous, you can bounce the Beige to special to Grapha, then you can normal summon the Beige, and then that is 4,900 damage on board. Or Dark World dealings can like discard Grapha after you draw a card to pop a card your opponent controls, and then you can normal summon any of your other Dark Worlds here just to summon Grapha. Get Poken if your opponent outs Grapha, you can just summon it back on the following turn. So you are playing 2 rank 8s here just in case you get 2. Heliopolis and Sanafond are the only ones at the moment, unfortunately. Well, there is Neo Galaxy has Photon Dragon, but that requires 3 level 8s, and that's not going to happen. And then 1 charge into a Dark World to give you a rank 4 option. And then 2 Kite Road as well. So this is the list I settled on. I really want to be able to play a more control style variant with Dark Smog. This can banish monsters from your opponent's graveyard, and then you get to discard a Fiend and trigger one of the Dark Worlds. Really cool. Trans Archfiend is an option. It's a normal summon that allows you to discard a card, so you can like summon it, discard Beige, then Beige will summon itself. So this is like, this and Beige makes a rank 4, so that's kind of okay. When it's destroyed instead of the grave, you can target a banished dark monster and add it to the hand. So like after resolving the Gates of Dark World, which would have to banish a Fiend to discard a Fiend, and then draw a card, you can then have Trance add back your banished one. So that's not bad either. Just some ideas to keep in mind for the future. Moving on to Melffy. So this is the Melffy deck that I had. It's a little weird. Obedience Schooled is your main power play. If you don't see Obedience Schooled, the deck it performs much worse. It still has plays, but like resolving Obedience Schooled means you go +2, or it's just a 1 card Xyz without using your normal summon, because you just summon 3 level 2 beasts, and then you can go into Melffy Mami, LOL, which when it has 3+ materials cannot be destroyed by battle. If it has 4+, you take no battle damage from battles involving this card, and if it has 5+, if an attack is declared involving this card and an attack position monster, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to that attack position monster's attack. So ideally you get 5 on it, and the way you do that is it has a quick effect to attach a beast monster from your hand or face-up field to it as material. So you'll Obedience School to summon 3 random beasts with different names, level 2, and make Mommy, and then equip 1 on your turn, equip 1 on your opponent's turn. Then you can't die by battle, you take no battle damage, and then every time you battle with an opponent's attack position monster, you will deal damage to your opponent equal to that monster's attack. It'll probably be halved in Duel Links, which will make it a little bit harder to kill your opponent. But outside of Obedient School, you have like Punpoko, which can summon the Tantan and face down defense. Then when this is flipped, you get to summon another level 2 beast type from the deck, which can be like Kalantosa. And when it's special summoned by the effect of a beast monster, you get to destroy a card on the field. So you can summon it off of Tantan or off of Melffy Fenny. This is like the maybe the better one we have. When your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you can bounce Fenny to your hand to special summon another beast monster from your hand. So you can bounce this and then summon Kalantosa and then pop the monster they normal or special summon, which is pretty neat. And this can also special summon itself from the hand during the end phase. So if you like resolve Obedience, like a really good hand, quote unquote really good, is like Obedient Schooled, summon like Cerebral, Nizuchi, like a Melffy Fenny, make a Melffy Mommy, normal summon Punpoko, set Tantan from the deck, activate Mommy, equip the Punpoko that you just normal summoned, and then end phase you can special Fenny, and then if you have like Kalantosa in hand, so like it's like a 4-card combo. It's like Fenny, Punpoko, Scold, Kalantosa. You end with a board of Mommy with 4 materials, a set Tantan and a Fenny on the field, and then when your opponent normal specials, you can Fenny bounce to special Kalantosa, pop a card. Or if Tantan gets flipped face up, you can summon Kalantosa to pop a card. And then you have Mommy as a quick effect to attach a material so that Tantan can resolve. Then you have Regeki Break, because like you can Regeki Break, discard Cerebral, pop a card, and then Cerebral will summon itself. Or Hallowed Life Barrier, discard Cerebral, summon itself. You don't die. Cerebral can't die by battle. And then you have a level 2 on the field to go into like Ronin, which is the new one. This will summon a token, and the token's attack will be equal to the attack of the highest monster on the field. So that's pretty cool. And then while you control another beast, this can't die by battle or card effects, so it'll probably stay on the field. You have the Fabled Unicorn, which requires a Fabled Tuner and a non-tuner monster, so Cerebral and any other level 2 beast. And then while you and your opponent have the same number of cards in hand, you get to negate all spell, trap, and effect monster effects activated by your opponent, and you get to destroy that spell, trap, or monster effect. So it's kind of neat, a little bit hard to make use of correctly, but when you do get it like activated correctly, it's kind of neat. If your opponent like sets 3, has 1 card in hand, you can like activate Obedience Schooled, summon 3, and then you have 4 cards in hand. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to get down to the point where like you and your opponent have equal, but like if you can set yourself up, you can definitely like make use of this card pretty well. And then next we have Dream Mirror, which is like, this is the best I could come up with. The deck is very weird. They play like opposites. So if you have Terror on the field, you get all of the if you have the Dark field spell on the field, you get all of the light effects. If you have the Light field spell on the field, you get all of the dark effects. So you need to open one of these and the opposite normal summon in order to play. So like you have to open Terror with the Dream Mirror Sprite, or Joy with the Dream Mirror Mara. Otherwise, if you have like these two together, you can't really play, or if you have like these two together, you can't really play. So the deck is just very weird. The best it can do is like summon Black Knight on your opponent's turn, which can destroy a card on the field and be a 2800 beat stick, but that's about it. Like you can play Levianeer because they're dark and lights, but overall the deck just isn't quite there yet. They have some fusions that we don't have yet, so those are options, but we don't have those at the moment. And then finally, UA. This deck is going to be a powerhouse for sure, especially with Storm and Penalty Box. So Penalty Box, you can banish it from the grave to add any UA spell card from your deck to your hand. So you can add Powered Jersey or Signing Deal or Stadium. It's just absolutely nuts. So you have 3 midfielder. This is your normal summon. So like you activate Stadium, you normal summon midfielder, you search any of these other ones. So like a good turn 1 play, like you could go Stadium, normal summon midfielder, grab Perfect Ace, bounce Perfect Ace, or bounce midfielder, special Perfect Ace. Then this card can discard any card to negate any card your opponent activates. So you can discard Penalty Box to negate something, banish Penalty Box, and then search. So you have Storm to trigger Penalty Box or Perfect Ace to trigger it. Signing Deal, you can play like Switcheroo with the deck just so you can see like your Storms and your Penalty Boxes. Signing Deal can summon either Slugger or Ace to take 1500 and trigger Switcheroo that way. And then Powered Jersey will allow you to deal double damage with like Dreadnought Donker, which can pierce. So this will pierce. This will give you double damage. And Dreadnought Donker will be 3500 or 4000 if you resolve the field spell to boost it. So that's absolutely nuts. This deck is just going to be crazy, 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 crazy. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you're excited for in the comments below, or what deck you'll be trying first. Enjoy your beer if you're drinking that, or your coffee, or whatever you have. Enjoy the rest of your day as well. I will catch you all in the next one. Peace.